we see a boat in the river. We see cars and other vehicles driving by. But let us focus on water. Let us focus on the elements, the wind, the water, the fire. Let's focus on Mother Nature. We would all agree, regardless of our political beliefs, most of us at least, I believe, would actually agree that the elements affect us. That in fact, doesn't matter who you are, when there's a catastrophe, it doesn't matter who you are. You're affected by it. Doesn't matter if you're the wealthiest human being that ever lived. You can be the poorest human being that ever lived. If you're in the same city or the same state and a catastrophe happens, you're affected. So why is it that the elements are so united? Why am I living in the United States of America, but it is far from it? The United States of America is no more united than fire and water can mix. We have hatred over nonsense. People hating people because of race, economics, the way you look, your sexual orientation, whether you believe in God or you don't, or how you worship. This is the United States of America. Last time I checked, it said something about all men being equal and inalienable rights. Now it's true, even our forefathers, our founders, they disregarded women. And if you weren't white, they didn't really count you as a citizen. So even our founders have done a lot of things wrong. Many of them owned slaves. Many of our good people even owned slaves at one point. Thank goodness they changed their ways, a lot of them. But I have a question. Why is it that we are so divided? I don't like it. You see, I would like our nation to be like the river. I would like our nation to be flowing like the water. There would not be a Republican. There would not be a Democrat. There wouldn't be a gay. There wouldn't be a straight. There wouldn't be an Asian. There wouldn't be a Latino. There wouldn't be a Muslim. There wouldn't be a black. There wouldn't be a white. There would be brothers and sisters, cousins, and friends. You see, Martin Luther King had a dream. And the late John Lewis nonviolently fought for many years. C.T. Vivian and so many others. And I often wonder, was all their work, and even the work that I've done on Humanity Matters, in vain? And the answer is abundantly, resoundingly, and unequivocally no. You see, one day, the most racist woman and the most racist man is going to have a great awakening. I truly believe Klansmen and women will embrace everyone they hated and see that in reality, They hated themselves. For like it or not, my friends, we need each other. We are each other. Now, you might not quite grasp the metaphysical and existential of that, but we are each other. You can have a very homosexual man or lesbian woman who's hated by somebody who had a tragic accident or a heart transplant and they needed a transfusion. And that lesbian woman or homosexual man has the same blood type as the racist person. And they decide, even though they're hated, they're going to save that person's life and donate blood. And they do. And that person's saved. Same racist person only wants to be around whatever pigmentation they love or their own family members. They don't have his or her blood. So they can't help them. Maybe even with regards to bone marrow. Unless you have the exact type, they can't help you. So we need to be like the elements. We need to be like the river. The rivers, the oceans, the lakes, the fire, the rain, the snow, the ice, the hail, the floods. We need to reflect on the fact that we need each other. Black racists, white racists, Asian racists, Hispanic racists, Native American racists, Muslim, Christian, whatever. They're misguided. They're misguided. You see, everybody, for the most part, wants the same things. But I will tell you a little something. I'm going to have to take a drink here. It's some ice water, by the way. Everybody generally wants the same things, to take care of their family, to have a good income, maybe some benefits in a retirement, or what have you, right? But yet there are people out there that hate you because of your politics, your belief systems. And this is America in 2020. You know, I have to be honest. I'm appalled at our nation. I love our nation, but I'm appalled. We have a man in the White House who's invaded the White House. And that has nothing to do with being partisan. See, I liked certain Republican presidents, but this man is a dictator devil. And I don't care who likes it, and I don't care if he hears it. In fact, I wish he would hear it. Donald Trump, at real Donald Trump, at real Donald Trump, at real Donald Trump. It is my sincere hope that the American people in November will come together in a way that never has been done. Black and white, gay and straight, Asian and everything. And we will vote you out. Resoundingly. And I will say this to my most conservative, right-wing, or whatever you want to call yourself, libertarian person. Donald Trump is no Republican. Donald Trump is no Democrat. Donald Trump is an evil man. And it has nothing not anything to do with partisanship. You know, I didn't care for a lot of the policies of Ronald Wilson Reagan. Didn't care for it. But I liked him as a person. Didn't care for his policies, but I loved when he said, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Now we have a dictator devil in D.C. wanting to build walls. Whereas Abraham Lincoln said, all men have a fair chance in the race of life. This abomination, he is the most evil person to ever occupy that office. And he wants to take people and make them lose their freedom. Trump only cares about Trump. He doesn't care about you if you're watching Fox News or some other conservative radio show, and if you're a liberal and you're in love with the Democrats. Man, please. That's not the way it's supposed to be, my friends. But Trump is a dictator devil. Trump is a dictator devil. As a matter of fact, I want this to sink into your mind, and I really want you to stay through the episode, no matter how mad you are. In fact, I hope you're mad at me. I want you to text me how ticked off you are about this video. If you support Trump, give me a good reason why I shouldn't call him a dictator devil. I want your feedback. Yeah, you got that right. So here's the deal. 412-559-2731. I might even talk to you on the phone if you have the courage to not block your number, to not make it private or make it unknown. I will speak with you, but we will not get into a foul language match. We will not threaten each other. We will speak our mind, but we will do it non-violently and with dignity and class. But let me quantify why Trump is a dictator devil. Trump is a dictator devil. Dictator devil. Dictator devil. Dictator devil. Dictator devil. That's right. Why? Because whereas Lincoln, that's Abraham Lincoln, sought to free an entire segment of our society, Trump wants to get out of here. Whereas almost every Republican and Democratic president welcomed at least a number of immigrants. This man wants to kick them out. He's locked up children. And it's true. Barack Obama made a mistake also. Some of his policies were wrong. I liked President Barack Hussein Obama, but he did wrong too, at times. But while we have great Republican presidents, Lincoln being one, and others, we have a man in there that disrespects every American. Whether you think he's for you, he's not. He disrespects our entire nation. He attacks our heroes. He attacked a very prominent Republican I didn't always agree with, but I always liked. That was John McCain. He attacked John McCain. John McCain may have been captured, but he went to battle for this nation. What did Donald Trump, the dictator devil, do? He hid. He came up with an excuse. Dictator devil didn't go, did he? But yet he has the audacity to attack our heroes. And I'm going to be blunt. Let me be as blunt as possible. Please get mad at me. If you're a Trump lover, please get mad at me. Because I'm dang sure not going to hide the truth. When I heard the words coming out of his mouth about John McCain, and still millions upon millions of people plan on voting for this abomination. It's a sad, 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 sad world. A sad United States when we can allow someone to say the things he said. And when he talked about women and disrespected them, I can grab them by the blank. And when he made fun of people who were possibly disabled. That's not America. That's not the America of Ronald Reagan. That's not the America of any Republican president. It sure ain't the America of General Grant. It's not the America of George H.W. Bush. It's not the America of George W. Bush. It's not the America of even Richard Nixon. It's not the America that any of the previous 44 presidents would do. Then we come to the matter of Mitch, the soulless coward McConnell. Now, it's not about name calling. You see, I'm not doing that to call names. No, ma'am, no, sir. But it's as if he lost his soul. The things that he's done and the things that he and most of the Republican Party has allowed. I wish there was a ghost of Abraham Lincoln. I wish that George Washington and all of our presidents could one day be a ghost and just one day confront Trump. I really do. And say, what do you think you're doing with our nation? We lived and died for this nation. How dare you? Abraham Lincoln died to bring this nation together with the men and women who fought. Men and women died in WW1. Women died in different capacities as nurses or what have you. But so many men died in World War I or WW1, WW2, the Korean War or Korean conflict, Vietnam, the first Gulf War, Iran. Not Iran. Thank God we didn't do that. Iraq and Afghanistan and Grenada, the police action. So many men and now women fight and die for this nation. And what does Donald Trump do? He tries to destroy the legacy of some of our most brave, honorable, good, loving veterans. I won't apologize for saying that he's a dictator devil. And there are so many rulings that the conservatives on the Supreme Court have recently ruled on that within a month or two, I'm going to work on collecting all of the rulings that was a 5-4 majority in the last 10 years. And when you find out what you no longer have as a right or an ability to do, you may be the most conservative man or woman on earth, or liberal and progressive, and you're going to be in disbelief. You will be in disbelief. I'm not trying to Trump bash, if you want to call it. But I won't say something's pretty when it's ugly. I won't say it's ugly when it's pretty. Donald Trump is an embarrassment. He is so disgraceful. Not to mention what he said and done to our intelligence agencies. Not to mention that he sided with our former enemies, and who knows what's going on with Putin. That's Russia, for anybody that forgot. He speaks about keeping Confederate monuments, and whether you like the bravery or so-called bravery of Robert E. Lee, Stonewall Jackson, Jeb Stuart, and so many others, they still chose to become traitors. They chose to fight and kill hundreds of thousands of Northerners, Yankees, Americans. They killed hundreds of thousands of your great-great-grandparents or grandparent, possibly. They were traitors. Now, it's true that Lincoln welcomed them back in, and so did Grant. But it is inappropriate to honor and have statues and monuments and flags and whatever of people who fought and killed so that they can keep somebody enslaved. I don't ever want to see a black man, an Asian man, a white man, a white woman or black woman or Asian or anybody, or Native American or Asian, like I said, anybody enslaved. And yes, Black Lives Matter. All lives matter. So it goes by default that Black Lives Matter. And a lot of people are in an uproar. They're like, well, so does white lives, so does Asian lives. Of course. But that's not why they're making that statement, my friends. But let me say this in closing. I don't hate Donald Trump. I hate his actions. He is a dictator devil. But I don't hate him. I hate what he's doing. If we want to save the United States of America and democracy, we must elect President Joseph Biden. President Joseph Biden. President Joseph Biden. President Joseph Biden. That's who we must elect. Now, is he the greatest thing on the face of the earth? No. Are the Democrats? No. But we need balance. And I promise you this. When Joseph Biden becomes president of the United States of America, every time he does something wrong, I will point it out. When Obama did, I pointed it out. Don't worry, you can find stuff on YouTube that I had said. And I like the man, but he did wrong. That being said, I want to go back to the rivers, the oceans, and the lakes. The elements are so strong because they do not seek to separate. They do not seek to hate. And it goes without saying, they don't have emotions. At least science hasn't proven any intelligence of bodies of water. So we use the water and the elements as an example of unity. But one day, the most conservative American, the most progressive American, I'm telling you, it shall come to pass. You will unite. And you won't see each other as that anymore. And you won't see black, you won't see white, you won't see any of that. You will only see your fellow human being. And we won't have certain people impoverished their entire life while others have so much income that they could throw it in the trash if they chose to. And we must not say that we don't want people to be wealthy. If somebody had $100 trillion, I wouldn't have a problem with it if they did their fair share. They do their fair share. They help other human beings. They pay a legitimate share. I don't have a problem with somebody earning a quadrillion amount of dollars. I don't care what the amount is. If somebody can earn $1 trillion dollars, but they did what's right and they helped as many as they could, I don't have a problem with that. Where I have a problem, ma'am and sir, is where they are exploiting the world. They're exploiting the earth. They are not paying their fair share in taxes. And as a direct result, the people who watch Fox and all the conservative radio and TV shows and what have you online or podcast, you are paying the taxes because of the ones who will not. Conversely, those who listen to liberal or progressive programming in all formats, you are also unfairly paying the burden. That's not our America that we should accept. Now, if you want to accept it, that's fine. But I believe that the day shall come when all people in this nation and, in fact, on this planet will be united. Like John Lennon said, united, I think it was John Lennon, united as one. Then I'm not talking about a one global government. That's not what I mean. Not at all. But we will do things because of love and compassion. I see a day when Martin Luther King's dream will be surpassing his dream into a new reality. I see a day when it won't matter what your sexual orientation is, what your religious beliefs or non-religious beliefs are. I see a day when the entire globe will lay down their weapons and unite. I see a day that all people will realize that they truly do matter. And that all this hatred, all this division, even from people like Donald Trump, will miraculously and unequivocally and almost instantaneously be lifted, erased, and extinct. I know that that day is coming. I know that that day is coming. And I believe that all human beings, whether they reside in America or they reside in Uzbekistan, whether they live in the Philippines or they live in Turkey, whether they live in Italy or Istanbul, Greece or Grenada, I see a day when all the good people of this planet will throw away all their hatreds and find that we, the people, not just of the United States, but of the globe, can love each other, can ensure that we have what we need. I see that happening. Now, I don't know about you, but I know about me. But until that day, we must point out when the Democrats do wrong, when the Republicans do wrong, when everybody needs to be held accountable. And some would say that I bashed or attacked Donald Trump. But I only told the truth. His actions are evil. You lock up children and let them die in some cases. Many have never been found and reunited with their parents. I don't care if their parents came here legally or illegally. What if it was your child? Think about it. And for those of you who don't like to protest the Black Lives Matter, let me have you reflect, if you will. You're an upper class person of whatever pigmentation. Your child goes out to a recital or a dance. Sure enough, I hope to God this never happened. Lord, please don't ever let this happen. But you receive a call from a relative or finally the police. And you find out that for whatever reason, your child was killed by those who are supposed to protect you. Maybe you're a white person. Maybe you're an upper class Hispanic or Latino or Black American, whatever. And you're upper class, or maybe you're even outright wealthy, a billionaire, and somehow your child's killed by those who are supposed to protect your child. Let me ask you this question. How would you feel? And if it happened far too many times, a certain pigmentation, both male and female, innocent, even in their own homes, just up and got killed. What if it happened to you? I want to say something to the extraordinarily racist people out there. Yes, I'm speaking about the KKK and neo-Nazis or whatever have you, hate groups of every side. Let me just say this. Spiritually, I still love you. But I hate your actions. I will legally, non-violently, peacefully, in some cases financially, ethically, morally, and spiritually, fight like the greatest fighters in the history of the world, like all of our military men and women combined. I will use my voice. I will be nonviolent. I will be legal. I will be peaceful. I will be ethical. I will be moral, spiritual, and I will be financial. But make no mistake, I will never retreat. And when I say that I pray to the Lord thy God and Jesus Christ that in November that Donald Trump is voted out of office, I literally pray to the Lord thy God. But I don't pray because I'm partisan. I pray because I have seen some of the laws that are in place, that many people are too busy watching videos, streaming, doing their thing on the phone, or just not paying attention, just not interested. But these laws are in place. I will tell you that I would like to say that all of this was Donald Trump and the Congress. I mean, the Republicans and the right wing. And a large amount of it is. Being honest, a large amount is. But if I was partisan, I'd love to say that. But you know what? It's just not true. Because the Democrats allowed certain laws that took away your civil liberties and frankly could even get you to be exterminated. Now, I imagine that when somebody says that, they have to quantify it and qualify it. So I will. You see, since 2013, there's a a provision in the National Defense Authorization Act. There's a provision that if you ever were called the T word or an enemy of the United States, under this law, which both Republican and Democrats actually passed, and a Democratic president, that would be Obama, signed in 2013, under this provision under the National Defense Authorization Act, if you are called the T word, you lose all your rights to an attorney. They can detain you indefinitely, even send you to a place like Gitmo. They can even exterminate you with a drone or otherwise. That's on the books, my friends. I don't want you to believe me if you're Republican or Democrat. I want you to check it out. The NDAA Act. You should also know that habeas corpus was actually suspended in 2006 and also in 2009. And to be honest, I haven't checked to see if it's still suspended. But if it is, that means you do not have a right to remain silent and all that jazz. And if you actually get accused of being the T word, you lose everything. They can actually take you indefinitely, never inform your family. You can just disappear. And I know how you feel. You think I'm full of hot air. I understand. But you can find out this information yourself. And then, there are the Patriot Acts that also eliminate much of our rights. And that happened under both Democratic-controlled Congresses and Republican, Democratic presidents and Republican. So they were equally complicit and guilty. Equally. So all the progressives out there and the liberals thinking that the Democrats are innocent, woo! You gotta quit drinking, my friend. Put down the alcohol. Take away the illegal drugs. The Democrats are guilty just as much as the Republicans. Oh yeah. Now, we also have the matter of the Real ID Act. And unfortunately, many Americans actually don't have much of a problem with it because they think it's meant to secure our borders and help identify people that are bad and a few other things. Oh boy, you have no idea. Woman, man, you have no idea. Sir, ma'am, you just don't know. And I'm not trying to be condescending, trust me. Those acts were put in place for many a reason that I cannot really disclose at this time for my safety. That's right, mine, right here. But if I were you, I'd be checking that stuff out on YouTube, Google, and some actual government sites so that you can basically fact check it. It's a matter of public record, and they don't hide it per se. But this Real ID Act is real dangerous. So while you are getting your real ID so that you can go through federal buildings and in planes and what have you, you have no idea to the extent of what's really going on. We come to the matter of Edward Snowden. A lot of people think that he's a traitor. Actually, he's a hero. The stuff that he told was not a lie. He left went to Russia, not because he decided to sell out, not because he's a traitor. He had gone there because the United States wanted to make him disappear and never come back, if you get the point. So, I want to give a warning, a legal, peaceful, ethical, nonviolent warning to every politician in America. There are some of us that see you masquerading as a champion for the people, yet you are anything but. Some call themselves Democrats. Some call themselves progressives. Some call themselves conservatives, or Republicans, or libertarians. But all have deceived you. All have deceived you. I'm not saying every member of Congress is bad, or that every president is bad. However, I will say that every session of Congress, no matter which party they were controlled by, did some bad stuff. But the problem is that when you combine the Real ID Act, the National Defense Authorization Act, the Military Commissions Act of 2006 and 2009, so the Commissions Act, and others, my friends who watch Fox and think that Donald Trump is your hero, no. My friends who watch CNN and think that Joe Biden is the next coming to save America, Joe Biden will do something. But he's not the next coming to save America. He must be elected president. And with the Lord thy God's help and the Lord Jesus' help, I pray that we get President Joseph Biden, 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 and President Joseph Biden one more time. Not because he's so great, but we need balance. And I have no delusions or illusions that if the Democrats take all three houses, the White House, all three bodies, the White House, the House of Representatives, and the United States Senate, I have no illusions or delusions that it's going to be all good. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. That I know. But the truth is, we, the people, are the ones who have to stay on top of this. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat. You can be Shrimocrat or Republican, part Democrat and Republican. I don't care. I don't care. You know who I care about? the founders of this nation and people like Abraham Lincoln. I care about people like John F. Kennedy. Ask not what your country can do for you. Rather ask what you can do for your country. So in that old-time citizen patriotism style, I ask now that all Republicans, all libertarians, all progressives and conservatives, and everything in between, and independents, I ask you now, in November, to vote the Democratic people and candidates to be the majority in the United States Senate. I ask you to make sure that the Democrats are the majority in the United States House. I ask you to make sure that Joseph Biden becomes the next president of the United States. But further, I ask you, as Lincoln asked you, ask not what your country can do for you. Rather, ask what you can do for your country. And what you can do is put us on a course to change it. Then I ask you, once we have a government of, by, and for the people, just a wee little bit, I ask you to do your duty, to be that patriot, to fight for the people, these veterans, these heroes who fought and died for our nation. I am asking you, whether you are 18 or 118, to take action and to call Congress, and when they do wrong, check them on it like you were going to open up a whole tank of whoop butt. I ask you, after the election, every single week, you call Congress. You tell your senators, no, you will not do this to us again. I don't care if they're Democrat, Republican, or Schmuckahoon. I don't care. I'm asking you, the American people, to call 1-202-224-3121 and let us get back to the party of Ronald Reagan, who actually cared about the United States of America and cared about you. He may have had policies that were not great, but he loved you. Let us fight back for Ronald Reagan. Let us fight back for the late John F. Kennedy. Let us honor Abraham Lincoln. Let us honor men who fought and died for this nation. Let us not forget every United States Marine that ever put on that uniform. Let us remember every United States SEAL, every airman, every Navyman, every single man and woman who's ever fought or was willing to fight for the United States of America. Come November, I'm asking you to fight by voting, to do it non-violently, but to fight for every American. I don't care if they're black, they're blue, they're green, they're yellow, they're purple, I don't really care. If you are an American, I don't care if you're blue, green, or in between, or red. That's what I said. I don't care. But if you believe in America, because I believe in America, if you believe in America, get registered to vote the minute you can. And sign up to vote by mail if you can. I need you to vote in November. I need you to vote for you. I need you to vote for America. And I need you to stand up for America. Stand up for America. And then after you vote, I need you to call 1-202-224-3121. For everybody at the age of 18, you might not be wanting to get on the phone. It's all right. Find out how you can text your senators. Find out how you can email your senators. Find out how you can get online. I really don't care. But if you believe in the United States of America, if you ever celebrated Independence Day, you must vote. I don't care if you can't stand anyone running for a campaign for office. It does not matter. You must vote. You must vote for your life. You must vote for America. And you must vote in November 2020 and in every single election for the rest of your life. In the meantime, let me say this in no uncertain terms. I will remain nonviolent, but I will never retreat. And I approve of this message because I love America. So if you love America, let's join legally and peacefully together. And let's save the United States of America. My name is Albert J. Torcaso. And I'm doing this because I love you. Now get out there and vote.